It's day 3 and I arrive early at the water, maybe too early. Plans of fishing now are rendered impossible by the harsh weather. It's been wet, it's been windy, it's been horrible and it's been cold. I need a cup of tea and I need someone to come and give me a few tips. And that's what I've got. Today, Eric and John, two fellas that take the word experience to a whole new level, have agreed to pitch in. We've got the whole day. I'm going to make you call it first thing this morning. What are our chances out of 10? With 10 being we'll definitely catch. What's the chances today?
7.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
That's good. That fills me with a lot of confidence.
I think we're looking at later.
Yeah?
Rather than now.
Let's get started. I'm super keen. And while you might not want them on the last leg of a 4x100 metre relay, when it comes to zander fishing, these are definitely the first names on the team sheet. Having these two, they're local experts, is absolutely invaluable. They could draw you a picture of this lake underwater, everything, where the streams come in, the shallow bits, the deep bits. After a tricky night, I'm actually feeling pretty confident this morning. Still got to get one on the bank. Right, Eric, I've got to pick your brains. This is a question I did want to ask because I've done a lot of pike fishing, but they're quite delicate in their feeding pattern. Aren't they?
The zander will sit on the bottom. It will push the bait.
So when do you know when to strike?
You don't. That's the big problem. You'll get on and you'll get a little bleep, bleep. But get ready, because when it goes bleep, 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 bleep. It won't go fast.
Yeah.
You've got to travelling, and then you just pull into it.
Right,
It's
okay.
not a massive...
This is tricky fishing.
It puts a lot of people off. This is the problem with it.
How big's it going to be?
Average size 6s, 7s, 8.
Just to see one in the flesh.
Yeah.
Can I steal one of your rigs?
Yes, you can.
Good. The rig consists of a hook, which will be putting a dead bait, a weight to keep it near the bottom, and a wire trace to connect the two, so the zander's sharp teeth don't cut the line. The first couple of rods I'm going to be using bite alarms, which pick up any movement of the line. For this style of fishing, you have to be aware of a bite or an indication immediately. Noise, they're perfect for just letting you know any vibrations, any just tiny bit of bite, and then I can be aware. For my third rod, I'm going old school and using the float. I personally prefer this method, as there's nothing quite like seeing your float bob under the surface when you get a bite. Or not, as the case may be. And as time ticks by, the latter scenario looks more and more likely. It's a bit now, and this is looking a bit grim. Now this is where experience counts. I'm waiting for the alarm to scream off or for my float to plunge beneath the surface. Wily old Eric is looking for something much more subtle and is convinced little twitches on the float indicate something nibbling at the bait.
This one's gone.
That one definitely gone.
Yeah. Wait a minute, let's tip it back over.
Right.
Just tighten up to it.
Oh, fish on. Fish on. Depends what it is, though. Fish on.
Doing close.
In close. On the float. Is it going to be a pike or a zander? Can't be a zander. It's only a small one. I'll take anything on a day like today. Zander. Oh, we've got zander. Yes, we've got zander. I thought that was going to be a pike. Come on, you. Oh, yeah, he's just nicked in the top.
Nice size.
I was that was going to be a pike.
I wasn't.
This fish carries a sure sign of why we've had to wait so long for our first bite. Leeches. These fish, they only get leeches on them. It's incredibly cold. The temperature of the water means they're so lethargic. Sit on the bottom and the leeches live in the silt, in the mud on the bottom of the lake. It's the eye. The eye gets me the most. Like, look how big it is. They're just such a predator, designed to hunt at night in murky water like this. What an absolute... My first zander. Right. What a place. Having caught one zander, I naturally now consider myself something of a zander expert. So I decide to set off in a boat to see if I can land an even bigger one from the other side of the island. Eric and John politely declined my offer of a boat trip with a knowing look in their eye. And after 10 minutes, I can see why. Ooh, can't feel my fingers anymore. The boys are calmly reeling in a pike, ensuring that I not only feel wet, but inadequate as well. Thanks, guys. The only way to show them is to catch a bigger zander. So I cross my fingers, and just as the light is fading, my perseverance is rewarded. Yes, right, come on, here we go. Yeah, fish on. Ah, oh, yes.
That's another Z.
Yeah. Another Z.
It's really good nick, that one. Spot on it.
They are in immaculate condition.
Yeah.
I reckon that's £6, that.
Yeah,
it's heavy.
Yeah,
look how they look like vampires, don't they, with their and they come out at night.
Yeah, it's that pointed mouth that don't help, isn't it? Look at his eyes. That's one of the blackest eyed one I've seen in a long, long time.
Well, the sun's going down, and I'm glad I came out. It's been hard today, but it's totally worth it when you get one like this. Right, she's got to go back. Finish to a brilliant day. Woohoo! So, I'm 2 species down, and I've got 2 to go. And for my third fish, I've got a long drive ahead, because I'm going to eels. Now this is the Brecon Beacons in Wales. It's cold, it's rugged, and it's wild. Down in the village, it wasn't that bad. Up here, it's pretty full on. There's a lot of wind and I'm feeling the cold. And there is a reason that the SAS do their training here. This is the toughest environments in the UK. There she is. This is panty, and this is special. In fishing, this is very, very special. The reason I've come here is to catch a particular strain of wild carp that some people believe was brought here over 900 years ago, possibly by the monks who used them for food. They can live for 20 years and grow to 14 kilos. So I've enlisted the help of aptly named Adam Fisher, an angling guide, one of the few who fish here.
Hey, Tom.
Adam.
How you doing?
Not too bad. Not too bad.
Found it all right? Yeah.
What do you reckon of the fishing chances today?
It's going to be tough.
Yeah.
But you never know. We can try, can't we? And something bright, winter carp tactics, we might be all right.
Well, it's going to be a hell of a day.
It is.
What makes these fish so unique is that whilst other carp across the rest of the world have come into contact with other strains, interbred and mutated, this isolated group of fish have remained here on top of the mountain alone and therefore unchanged for 900 years. So these mystery carp, what do they eat? It's so harsh up here, there can't be that much invertebrate life.
Yeah, the last place you'd think the carp would survive would be somewhere like this, but looking around here, especially around the margins, I think it's the weed. It's renowned to be so weedy in the summer.
Yeah.
And I think that's the difference with this lake. There is a lot of food, whereas on the face of it, you wouldn't think there was.
Do you think there's quite a lot of invertebrate life in and amongst that weed then? And
Yeah.
this must get frozen over. How thick does it get there, the ice?
Well, I think it was nearly a foot deep in 2010.
The ice was a foot thick?
Yeah. We had it froze, you know, it didn't get above freezing, like, for the whole of December, I think.
So in terms of where they are, how high they are, where they came from, and what they survive, these must be the toughest carp in the UK. It almost makes you feel like you would be just as peculiar to see a giraffe walk past.
Yeah. It is really bizarre.
Do you know anyone before?
No. No, I think we're the only ones mad enough to.
The longer I sit here, the more mysterious these fish and those ancient monks seem to become. Now, freshwater fish used to be a real part of their diet, and we do know through history that they would have transported barrels. But seriously, 1.5 miles from the nearest road, would you have carried or rolled a barrel just to come to a lake that's in the middle of nowhere? You know, this place is just tough as it is today. There's just something that's incredibly intriguing about it. Like it's like you're trying to work it, or you're trying to put yourself in the mind frame of something that was the better 800-900 years ago. And it just is so fascinating. Having had no joy at one end of the lake, it's time to up sticks and try another spot. With the temperature still rock bottom and the wind still howling, this is one fishing trip that is definitely not for the faint-hearted.
If we can get a bit of PMA on the go,